Ok.
Quest'angolo qui che c'è il sole dietro a me.
Sì. Dopo gira a destra, ok? Allora, welcome everyone. We are again with you, connected live streaming all over the world for this task number 3 of UAE Hike&Fly Championship. Today, look at what a beautiful location. The local area here are amazing. This is the perfect pilot paradise. Look at this. We have a sand dune, and at the end, at the top of the sand dune, we have the chain of mountain. It's beautiful, really beautiful. This is probably the perfect start of the race on a beautiful grassy field. All the athletes are getting ready because in few minutes the race will start. So I really thank you for following, and very soon I will explain you the task. So everyone will start from a line here, which is also going to be the finish. They will run. They need to hike up the sand dune, and there is a road. Along the road, there are some flags. You are going to see all of the task. Once they are on top of the sand dune, they will take off, and the race will start. The conditions of the air are very similar of yesterday, so the pilots have been able to have a recognition day. They're actually now coming close to us, getting ready. There is an electric energy in the air. This is a very beautiful place, but pilots really need to be aware of their hydration, and it's really harsh on the pilot. This will make the difference. We're going to see a very fast race because this ridge is really powerful. There's no need to turn around any thermal. We're going to see them going as fast as possible. Today is paragliding Formula 1, and I can't wait to see you later in a few minutes when I will be, say, 3, 2, 1, go for the race.
Very, very good. Yes, thank you, Stefano, for your nice introduction. And as Stefano was saying, we are in a beautiful location, deep into the desert, in the Arab desert, in Al Faya mountain, in the Emirate of Sharjah. And this will be today the arena for task number 3 of the UAE Hike&Fly Championship here in the United Arab Emirates, first ever hike-and-fly paragliding competition held in this country. And just as a recap, we are on task number 3. And in task number 1, we saw the pilots taking off from the beautiful Address Beach Resort building in Dubai Marina. They had to hike to climb the 77 floors of this beautiful hotel and then take off from the top to land back down on the beach. On second day, task number 2, we were on the highest mountain in the United Arab Emirates, and we saw a very, very fast race with some hiking, some cross-country flying. The flying was very, very fast, but nonetheless, the strategy of the pilots was really interesting to watch as conditions were not as strong as they expected. And today, again, the route will be even shorter probably than task number 2, but this doesn't mean it will not be as interesting. We can see a beautiful reconstruction now of the task of today. You saw the ridge behind Stefano as he was speaking, and you will see today the pilots going back and forth on this ridge using the lift from the wind coming from the sea. And so they will fly very, very fast. They will start from the football field, hike up on the sand dunes, so they will actually have to run in the sand, which makes it even more difficult. And then once they reach the first takeoff point, they will be able to start with their gliders. They will then have to reach one extreme side of the ridge, that's turn point 1. Then they will have to go all the way to the other side on turn point 2, and then they will have to go back at turn point 3, where they have to land and sign aboard. From there, they will have 2 options. They can either pack the gliders and run up another sand dune, or they can even go up by kiting. So that means they can play with the wind and have their gliders pulling them up. That is, of course, an easier way to go up the dune, but the question is, will it be also faster? Once they reach the height that they judge as enough to start, they will have to take off again and do the same route again. So it will be again turn point 1 on one edge of the ridge, turn point 2 on the other edge of the ridge, and then they will have the finish at a starting point where they will land. So really interesting task today, really fast. We will see many pilots flying very close together, and so we can't wait for the race to start. Let's do a brief recap of the past few days. We have a current ranking going on. So the scoring of this race will be the sum of the positions that the athletes are having on each task. So that means if somebody is winning the first task, he gets 1 point. And if somebody is getting last on the task, he gets 24 points. At the end, we will sum the points of 4 tasks. And the one who gets the best position, which means the least points, will be the official overall winner of this competition. And right now we can see that we have this current ranking given by what happened in the first 2 tasks. So we have Eduardo Gaza on 24th position and Seb Ospina, 23rd, Tom Payne from England, number 22, Vezo Ovkarov, number 21, Alex Villa at number 20, and Logo Walters at number 19. We'll just go fast up. You can see what the situation is here, but this doesn't mean anything because everything can still change. Today will be, again, a very tight race, so it's very, very easy to gain or lose positions on or lose position on this current global ranking. And we can see we have currently at lead Tommy Friedrich from Austria. That was the winner of both task 1 and 2. And following Aaron Durogatti from Italy and Tanguy on 3rd position. And then we have an ex aequo at 4th position with Sepp Eniger and Kriegel Maurer with the same sum of points, 11 points for both of them. So we will see what's going to happen today, who is going to be in front and who's going to fall back. And then France in 6th position with Team Alongi with, oh, sorry, that's another ex aequo. It's still a 4th position with same points as Sepp and Kriegel. So we have Sepp, Kriegel, and Team Alongi and 4th position ex aequo. So we are going back to the starting line. The pilots are lining up. They are really ready to start. So we will really see now what's going to happen. Stefano, you can see the pilots.
Ottimo. Yeah, now we see everything. I keep an eye on the top of the dune where the main organizer, he must do the sign. And it looks like everything is ready. Everything is ready, so I'm gonna do this. Look at the pilots are ready. They need to run underneath the arch. Everything ready. So I would say for this task number 3 from the Al Fayed Desert Region in the UAE Hike&Fly Championship, ready to go. And so 3, 2, 1, go! And the race has started. Everyone, it's super strong. Fiore yesterday was amazing because, as you are aware of, we are able to test this area, and also for us from the staff was possible to fly, so we can give you a straight feedback of how difficult it was, this area. Super difficult to work on the surface, really draining you out of the liquid of the water inside your body and the vitamin and everything. And so it's going to be really hard on the body of our athletes. It's amazing because after those 2 epic tasks, we couldn't imagine something so beautiful. Look at that. This is another pearl of the United Arab Emirates. It's the perfect place to fly. It's our paradise. And soon you will see from the air what a beautiful view they have.
And yes, and we can see today as well, you can follow the action live on relief maps. And this is a very, very nice 3D reconstruction of the race arena. And you can see the live trackers of the athletes showing you their position the whole time. So the race is fully on. The athletes are running on the sand. It's really, as Stefano was saying, it is really hot today. The temperatures are easily over 30 degrees Celsius. So it's going to be really, really hard for these athletes to keep the pace with this extreme heat. And as well, running in sand is really, really tough. We have some more cameras around waiting for the pilots to reach the next turn points. And today, for the first time, we will also have a camera following during the flight. So we are here located at the top of the dune where the athletes will be coming up in minutes. The actual climb is not very long, but that doesn't mean it will not be exhausting. Athletes are still running. They're actually running up the dune, but as they progress, the steepness gets worse and worse. So it will get harder and harder for them to keep the pace. They really have to manage the energy and their liquids, as Stefano was saying, as this climate is really, really hard on your body. Even just us sitting here and talking can feel that the heat is hitting really hard. So I can really imagine what the athletes are feeling. Very good. And they are really almost halfway by now. They are passing a few flags to indicate their path, the path they have to follow. And in really a few minutes already, they will be on the top. So we'll keep an eye on them and we'll take a look on what's going to happen now. Of course, getting up first is not going to give such a huge advantage as they will anyway start all very close. There will be a little bit of traffic on takeoff for sure, but everybody will be able to find their place as the dune is pretty big. And again, from the dune, we are going to see very soon the first athletes coming up. Once again, remember to follow us on Instagram as well, where you can already see some very good content that was made yesterday on Scouting Day. And now even the head group of the athletes is starting to slow down as the hill gets steeper, but they're still rushing to the top, trying to find the best spot for takeoff and to take off as soon as possible. Once they will be airborne, the race will be really, really fast. As the ridge soaring flying here, we can see the queue of the athletes coming up in this beautiful shot from the top of the hill. And again, the ridge soaring flying style here will allow the athletes to fly really full speed the whole time, as the lift is more than abundant in this mountain ridge here.
Sorry, the Tanguy, Aaron, and Tommy arrived here at the top first.
Very good. So we have the first three athletes of the current ranking, also the first three athletes that are that have reached the top of the hill: Tommy, Aaron, and Tanguy. They are opening the gliders at light speed, getting ready to take off. Yes, Vlad, it is a small task, but it's really promising. We will see the pilots flying back and forth, so they might be even they even might be meeting each other on the way back.
Rico arrived here at the top now.
We have some more pilots reaching the top, and everybody is now rushing to open the gliders. Marcus Anders.
Aaron, let's take off.
And if so, Aaron is already taking off, is already ready to start. They inflating the glider. A little bit of hesitation here, and you can see they're really racing each other even on takeoff. We have Team Alongi starting first and Aro following just after. and that must be Tommy Friedrich. They are kiting their wings. They are running along takeoff to gain a position of advantage before actually taking off. So this will help them to gain altitude more easily and faster. And then they will start racing side by side, tip by tip, along the mountain range.
We go back here now. The wind is a little bit more northwest of me, so not so easy to take off like yesterday.
The wind is slightly cross today. Yesterday it was more perpendicular to the flying ridge, to the mountain ridge. Today it is a little bit sided across it from the side, but the pilots are airborne and they are already climbing. They are already going along the route. They will not be turning much, as Stefano was saying, as this is not much of a thermal site, but they will try and take advantage of every little bit of lift they can find along these rocks. And we are deep into the desert, the Arabian desert, and the scenery here is really surreal. Once you get over the ridge.
Patrick here, kiting to the takeoff.
Hi.
Hi. Very good. Perfect. And we can see on relief maps that still showing the athletes going up the hill, but this is the queue of people going up just a few minutes ago. Now they're already airborne and they're flying as fast as they can to turn point 1, which is located at the end of this ridge. We can see more and more pilots coming up the hill and starting. Michael Gierlach. We have Stanislav, Sepp Iniger, we have Veso in the air, Marcus Anders took off. Really few pilots are missing. Most of them are already airborne. And we can look at the ridge today and actually see the race going on basically from the same spot. And you can see now in the top right corner, that is the end of the ridge that they will have to reach as soon as possible. And back on takeoff, you can really see pilots are flying side by side. The difference today will be in terms of seconds when they get to the goal. Of course, there is always the chance that by going this fast, if somebody is not catching enough lift and they bomb out, they will have to either kite up again to a takeoff or to hike up again, and that will mean they are losing a lot of time. We can see Nick Torini starting as well right now. And off he goes. He's reaching again the spot that he thinks is the best to take off, and immediately.
Nicky, picture camera.
Very good. And again, we can really see that from the landing area, we can see the race going on.
Steve Brumfitt. Now it's Alex from Colombia, the kiting up the top here.
And Alex has taken off, followed by what looks like Tom Payne, Nick Nanens, Tom Payne,
Sebo Spina, Antoine Gerard.
Sebo Spina, and Antoine Gerard, yes.
Just two more guys taking off.
Just two more guys missing, and you can really see that the race is tied together because, again, the route is pretty short. so they can fly really fast. And with ridge soaring, they can actually fly as fast as they can, and they don't have to worry much about gaining lift. But on the other hand, if they don't worry enough and they bomb out, that means they have to land back down at the bottom of the ridge. They will have to find another takeoff, and that means losing lots of precious minutes. And we can see the last two pilots reaching the top of the dune. It looks easy, but I can guarantee it is not. The temperature here is really, really high, and you can really feel the desert draining you. Even us on the ground, we have to keep drinking to keep hydrated. So I can't imagine what these athletes are feeling now, as they must be exhausted after running in the sand, in the hot sand, in this extreme hot temperature and extreme dry environment. And remember, you can always follow the action live on Relief Maps. That's where you're going to see the athletes flying real time, and you can see how the race is going. And we're looking now at organization providing some water to the athletes who need it. Eduardo Gaza. Eduardo was not feeling very well in the past few days, so he was considering what he was going to do today, but he decided to still keep on running and taking part in the comp today. So we will see what he will do in this third task. The running will not be much today. It's more of a flying task, as the running is basically finished, because from now on they will have to fly to turn point 1, turn point 2, land at turn point 3, but from the turn point 3 landing they will be able to kite their gliders up, so they don't need to actually run up the hill anymore. And we can see the athletes are flying really, really fast along the ridge. They are really racing tip by tip. As Stefano was saying, this is Formula One today. It's really not much about the distance, but more about the speed. And we're looking now at possibly the last athlete getting airborne. And let's take a look at turn point 1. If we can see some, yes, we can already see some of the athletes flying over this is turn point 3, then where they will have to land after flying to one side and then back to the other side of the mountain ridge here in Al Faya. So the race is going on really, really fast. As you can see, these gliders that you see in the middle of the screen now are really racing to the next turn point. They're side by side, full speed bar. Of course, in this task today, the glider will play a little bit of a difference, as faster gliders will have an advantage. So glider and wing load will have an important role today. And so how do we find the live tracking? Somebody is asking, and you can find the live tracking at reliefmaps.io. You can find the link down in the comments. I will write in the comments. I will put it right now. And we're back on takeoff. I guess everybody has taken off, so we can see the action from the ground. We are looking at the gliders flying above the landing spot where they will have to sign aboard.
Either to watch the race and see what's happening, but more importantly, to have the safety of every pilot. So whatever happens to any pilot, we know exactly where they are. And also, they have a button that if they push the SOS button, then it will give us an instant alarm and an instant red bell. So we will be able to give him a hand. Also, the local organization is so good that we have a police car all the way over there. And also, the other point that is so far to the left, but with the live tracking, we are able actually to follow them. Every single one of them can be seen. This is, yes, for the show, but more importantly, for the safety of the pilots. They also have a button in the middle, an SOS button. Anything that happen, we have the safety cover. But back on the race, we can see on the farthest side of this mountain, pilots already getting together. It looks like they are almost probably getting very close together again. And then the wind is picking up as the sun is keep on warming up the area. The wind is picking up, the temperature is picking up.
So, and people are asking where is the link to for the relief maps, and I will show it now on screen, but you can also find it in the comments section here on the right. So that is reliefmaps.io, and from there you can just activate the UAE Hike&Fly Championship tab, and you will see the action live on this beautiful 3D reconstruction of the mountain. You can actually see the pilots flying as they rush to the next turn point. Thomas, what gliders are they flying in terms of gliding performance? These gliders are at the moment among the top performance machines for hike and fly competitions, which means they are pretty light. They have to be light because they have to carry them on their shoulders all the time, but they are still very high performance gliders, two liners. That means they only have two sets of lines between the glider and the pilot, and as well they have very light fabric and thin and light lines, so that the overall weight of these gears, glider, harness and rescue can be as little as 6 to 7 kilograms. And on takeoff, we have finished now the athletes. So basically, everyone is airborne, everybody is in the air, and everybody is going to tag turn point 1 in a few minutes. And we can see the first athletes landing after reaching turn point 1. And they will go and sign the signboard now before going up on the hill.
No, man. They did that. They're wrong.
So they either bombed out, actually, because they had to do turn point 1 and then turn point 2 before landing here. So possibly they did bomb out, some of them, because somebody is over the top and somebody has lost some altitude and they are landing back down. So apparently what we were fearing is happening, and some pilots are being forced to land on the ground.
Exactly. Probably some of them bombed out and they have to hike up the road again to try to take off and fly to turn point 1 again.
Yes, sure. If they bombed out, they have to go up to the mountain again, tag turn point 1 if they didn't do it. And now we can see the first pilots tagging turn point 1 right now, if you look at the live tracking. And after that, they will have to go back to turn point 2, which is on the other far end of this Al Faya mountain ridge where we are today. So we are looking now at some athletes hiking with their glider on their shoulders, trying to find a new takeoff place where they can start from, and they will try to gain altitude again and go tag the turn points that they are missing. Again, the route, we'll see the pilots tagging turn point 1 on one far end of the ridge, and then turn point 2 on the other far end of the ridge. And after that, they will have to land and sign the board at the landing. And for the people who are now asking some more information about the relief maps, you can download the app for Android and iOS. I will put the link in the comments so you can download the app from your phone. And with that, you can access the live streaming on relief maps. So that's Android and that is OS right there. So if you guys want to have the direct link to download the Relief Maps app and follow the action live, you can download it from these links. But it's still working. Relief Maps is still working without any app. Just click on reliefmaps.io and you will have access to the live streaming. So we can see the athletes who landed found a road to go back up, and they are now following that road to try and find another takeoff place. In the meantime, this is the situation on the relief maps. And you can see that most of the athletes are losing altitude right there. But some of them are still soaring the ridge, and if they manage to get some altitude back, we can actually see them live coming here. Some of them are definitely coming back here. And so the group is now splitted. What we thought would be easy, tight race is already turning out to be much more complex and interesting than we thought, as a group of pilots landed down at the bottom of the ridge and will have to hike up again. And we can see here Stanislav hiking up. He's looking for a takeoff where he can take off again and try and go hit turn point 2, which is at the other far end of this ridge. And from the landing, we can see that some of the pilots are already coming back to the starting point. They will have to fly much further down the ridge to reach turn point 2 before they come back and go hit turn point 3. And thank you, Emilia. That was Michael Gerlach. Here's Michael Gerlach hiking up. And again, here we can see that the group kind of split. Some pilots are still on the ridge, still managing to keep the altitude and go back. And now they're actually right now flying above our position here at the starting line of Task 3 in this beautiful event. And they are going to the other far end of this mountain. The wind is definitely on the stronger side as they are speeding full speed bar quite far from the ridge, which means that the lift is not lacking. And as well, now since the wind is a little bit cross, they even have a slight tailwind component, which makes their flight to turn point 2 even faster. On the other end,
the pilots take off.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Gilon.
Look up. They gone. The
one
first
pilot
one.
take off. Very good, very good.
The second go. It's a really good place to start. Very good wind here.
Very good.
Yeah.
Perfect. And we're looking at the main group of pilots flying to turn point 2 right now. They are passing back above the starting point where they took off just minutes ago. Again, this will definitely be a fast race. As you can see, this is the view from the top of the dune, and you can see the pilots just flying above the takeoff area really, really fast. They are going at an amazing speed for these machines. Paragliding is definitely the slowest flying machine ever, but these high performance gliders, these two-liners, can reach speeds of up to 50, 60, even more than 60 kilometers per hour. And a slight tailwind component is making them fly even faster than that. And again, from turn point 3, where they will have to land later, we have a view on the road that most of the pilots took to go back up to a starting point. And we have more pilots taking off now from the top of the dune there, above turn point 3, above the signboard that the pilots will have to sign after turn point 2. And the head group is already going at incredible speed towards turn point 2. They will reach it within minutes. And back on takeoff here, probably it's too small to see, but along this ridge that you see on the left side of the screen, there is the head group rushing, really speeding towards turn point 2. And here we can see the whole Al-Faya ridge and the route that the athletes are flying. They will have to reach the end, the southern end, just in front of them right now, before going back and hitting 2.3, where they have to sign a board. They will then have to hike up again to the takeoff place, or they can actually ground handle up this dune and then take off again and do everything again. So they will have again to go to turn point 1, turn point 2, and then they will have to head for the landing, where they will have to where the race will end. Guy, you're still on top of the dune. You just saw the gliders passing by you. They're going fast, aren't they?
That's super fast, but yesterday we had that perfect.
Sorry, Guy, can you try and put the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth, as we cannot hear you very well?
Okay. We had yesterday, we had the wind pretty perpendicular to the mountain, and today we have a little bit of crosswind, like I expected. And some of the pilots yesterday, they came to me and said, let's put another turn point a little bit further. And I said, man, if the wind changes, you guys gonna bomb out and you have to walk 5 kilometers on the soft sand. And that's exactly what happened today. So it was good that we didn't change the turn point. It's really good to fly back to turn point 1, back to here, back to the takeoff. But now they're trying to come back, turn around, and for sure they're gonna fly slower because the wind is really strong here in the top of the takeoff.
Very good. Thank you very much, Guy. Exactly as we were saying just before, the wind comes a little bit from the north, so it's slightly crossed from the right for the pilots that are flying along the ridge. So on the way from turn point 1 to turn point 2, they have a slight tailwind component, which is making the flight easier and faster. But on the way back from turn point 2 to turn point 3, they will really have to struggle in order to keep the altitude, because they will have a headwind component slowing them down. And we can see already the first pilots coming back from turn point 2. They're heading to turn point 3, where they will have to land and sign the signboard. They are coming not too high. They are quite low at the moment. So we will see what is going to happen, if they will make it to turn point 3, or if they will bomb out, and what they decide to do after that.
They're flying really close to the ridge and really push that speed bar, trying to keep low, because now the next turn point is the ground is land about 2.5 kilometers past the takeoff. So I said, really push the bar and flying really fast close to the ridge here. Because flying really close to the takeoff here, and little bit further away and a little bit higher, not so close to the.
Very good, exactly. They are flying very, very low as the next turn
Exactly.
point.
To the front right now. Really push that bar. Then Kriegel in second. Michael Gerard in third.
Okay, and yeah, we can see the pilots flying very, very low. They are pushing as far as they can on that speed bar to gain maximum speed, and they're trying not to get too high as well because they have to land on the next turn point. So coming there high means that they will lose time to go and land. So it's better to come to the turn point low, and so they will lose less time to land.
Cross country day, Sebo Spina is doing really good too. He's in fourth position right now. Then we see, I think it's Sepp Hiniger, Nick Mayen, Nick Donini, and Steve Brumpet. Now Antoine Gerard, Ellie right behind one. Ellie Shrem. Oh no, that's Sepp Hiniger. I think he had homed out, so he comes back with Stanislav Mayer that had to take off again. They're just passing by the opposite direction right now, here at the top of the takeoff. And they're going for landing now.
Very good. Yeah, they're going for landing now. We can see from the top of turn point 3, we will see the first athletes going for landing within minutes. And as well, from the relief maps, we can now see everybody tagging turn point 2 and immediately going back to the turn point 3, where they have to land and sign the board. Back here at the starting point at the landing area, we have a nice view of the action going on. So the athletes just passed by us and they are heading to the landing. Stefano, do you see the athletes right there?
Yeah, 100% Fiore, and hi to everyone following the live stream from all over the world. Again, we are here in the perfect position to see all the race coming and going. It is an amazing race. It's designed to be perfect and to be the best, also for the public to watch, to be very interesting. So yes, we saw the pilots going to the place, to the turn point, and then coming back, and very soon they're going to land. And this is going to be an amazing show. Also, imagine when one group of pilots, the leading pilot, match in the air with the following pilot. What a difficult mental situation for them to see that they've already touched the ground. It's amazing, and we cannot wait to see them land here in this beautiful field and then kite up the mountain.
He's the last pilot here.
Very good. Yes, we are looking at the first pilots landing and going back up to the takeoff to start again before having to do the complete route once again, turn point 1, turn point 2, so fly the whole range back and forth one more time and then head for the finish line on the landing. In the meantime, we can see more pilots going from turn point 1 to turn point 2. These are the ones who bombed out and had to take off again. And back in turn point 3, we can see the pilots landing. This is the head group coming for landing. They will have to sign the board, and then they will probably ground handle or carry the glider in a ribbon up to the next takeoff, where they will have then to start and do the whole route once again.
The pilot's here.
And yes, for the people who are asking about live tracking, of course, we can also follow the action of the Flymaster live tracking. And this is the current ranking at the moment on the route. So we have Nick Ninens in first position, Vezo Ovkarov in second position, Kriegel and Patrick following, Seb Ospina, and you can see it right now live on the screen. We have the pilots signing the board. Kriegel is now signing the board, and the pilots are almost queuing. This is how close they are. This is how tight this match today is. We have Patrick signing at turn point 3. Beautiful, beautiful images, these ones. We are really following the action live, close, and we're bringing it to you. Vezo signing as well.
The last pilot here.
Very good. And we have Nick and Seb. You can see their annoyed faces as they have to queue in order to sign the board. But this is how it is. They have to sign. So the first who comes is the first who signs. And off they go. They are starting for the second time that they have to fly back and forth on the ridge. Signboard is here down at the feet of this mountain ridge in Al Faya in beautiful Emirates, United Arab Emirates. This is again task 3 of the UAE Hike&Fly Championship, the first ever hike-and-fly paragliding competition held in this country. And back from the top of the dune, we can see pilots coming back and forth. Some are still going to hit turn point 2. Some are going back to land at turn point 3. Very soon, we will see the pilots heading back to turn point 1. And on the far end, north end of the mountain ridge.
Mayor trying to catch up with the group, but after he bombed out, the group has turned around.
And again, lots of support for from all of you guys from all over the world following your favorite athletes today here in Al Faya Mountain. This is very nice to see. And of course, thank you everybody for watching and for following this live streaming. Thank you, Remy, for your suggestion. Yes, live track is 4 minutes late, which is normally not a big deal on longer flying competitions. But as well, today, everything is going to happen quite fast. So we are also following the action live on camera. We can actually see the pilots running and flying in front of us. As well, the ranking is a little bit delayed, and for example, we saw pilots that are here marked as 4th or 5th going to the signboard before the ones that are on the first positions. But as well, we are looking at live action right now. The athletes are again now going back to turn point 1 on the north far edge of the Al Faya mountain, and they will have to go back to turn point 2 again. We can look now at the tail group going above the starting area after tagging turn point 2. These are probably the guys that bombed out and they had to run at the mountain again before taking off for a second time in order to complete the first part of the route.
So, struggling to keep the good speed on his glider, pushing the bar and having to release because just really windy, probably around 25 km/h wind. Now it's Pina Longi he take off first, so for sure he bumped out too. And he's not having a good race. For sure, he's not happy because he took off first of them all, and now he's on the back of the pack.
All right, and again, we're looking at the tail of the group, trying to catch up with the others. And back at turn point 3, we are seeing some more pilots coming to sign their signboard. And I made a little mistake in the explanation. I apologize about that. After signing the turn point 3, they have to go back to the starting line and start all over again from the same dune. So we will see that these pilots will take off somewhere up there, fly back here, and then they will have to kite the dune to start again. Very beautiful location today in the middle of the desert, just at the feet of the Al Faya mountain. The view from the top of the mountain is just stunning. You can really feel that you're far into the desert. The view is just so far. You can see really, really far away, lots of sand everywhere. And as well, the temperature is well over 30 degrees Celsius. So it's really hard for these guys to keep hydrated during the comp today. And we're looking at Stanislav Meyer landing now at turn point 3, where he's going to sign the board really soon. And after that, he will have to take off or walk back to the starting line where everything starts all over again. We're looking now at the takeoff place just above the signboard, where most of the pilots have decided to take off before going for the second half of the route of today's task. And you can see Nick Nayans there on takeoff. Again, not the easiest takeoff ever, probably, but these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing, and they can definitely handle the stronger wind that we are experiencing today here in Al Faya. In the meantime, some more pilots are landing at the signboard. Again, the action is happening really, really fast today. So this race will have a very fast pace, and everything is pretty tied up together. But as well, the group is now starting to spread along the Al Faya ridge. Some people are still going to the turn point 2 for the first time at the end, south far end of this ridge that you now see in camera. And by looking at the flags, you can really notice that the wind is strong. And some pilots are already heading to the starting line before starting everything over again. They will have to do the route 2 times today, and most of the people completed the first part. They signed the board, and now they're on takeoff, waiting to start all over again. Haley Schrempf on the signboard. And more people coming, one after the other. Conditions as well are pretty different than yesterday. Michael Gerlach as well. Look, these guys are racing, one carrying the wing, the other one flying it to try and reach the signboard as first. Tim Alongi on turn point 3 signing the board as well. And we're looking at Tommy Friedrich signing now the turn point 3. So this can be a turning point for the whole competition, as Tommy is currently leading the ranking with 2 wins in a row. He won turn point 1, he won task 1 and task 2. So he's currently leading the current ranking. But as you see, things are changing today, as the athletes can make a small mistake and land down at the bottom of the mountain, and this will cost them a lot of time. So it's very, very easy to be pushed back in the ranking today. They will have to pay special attention to never have to bomb out, never have to land. And we're looking at the board now, very few pilots missing. Mostly everyone has signed the board at turn point 3. From there, they will have to go back to the starting line and then start all over again. And very soon we will see the first 3 athletes coming back to the starting line, from where they will have to then ground handle up the dune and start again with the same route, turn point 1, turn point 2, and then finish line. At the moment, we have Aaron leading, with Kriegel coming just behind, and Patrick von Cannell together with Kriegel. It's hard to see who is first, but they are really coming very low on Alfaya Mountain. They are trying to not gain too much altitude so that they can land quickly, and then they will have to climb or hike or ground handle up the dune again. Yeah. And Aaron Duragatti, who was leading the group just a few seconds ago, has just bombed out, so he will have to run to the starting line again, and that will definitely cost him some time. So again, this race today is not really simple, even if the racing arena is pretty small and route is pretty straightforward. Lots of variables are into play today as well. Wind and strategy and decision of the pilots can make a big difference in the result. And we're looking at a few pilots bombing out and all landing back at the starting line, and they will have to start from there again and come here, climb the hill in front of us, and then start again. And we're back again on takeoff above turn point 3, where almost every pilot has now already passed before going back to the starting line. And look at how low these guys are coming in for landing. They are really calculating their altitude in order to don't waste any second going down. They are really starting to get as fast as possible to stay low, fly low, in order to land just without doing any turns and losing any time. And here comes what I believe is Kriegel Maurer. Yes. So that means Kriegel is currently leading the race, the task 3 of this UAE Hike&Fly Championship. And he's going to the next signboard before going back up again. Here we go. And Kriegel is the first one to sign the board at the starting line. And now he will have to rush up the hill again. Some other people are following just shortly. We have Antoine Gerard coming down as well at the takeoff, at the landing spot to sign the signboard. Very good. And we have more and more pilots coming one after the other. Again, they are trying to fly as low and as fast as they can, as getting higher means losing time to go back down for landing. In the meantime, some other athletes are still taking off above turn point 3. From there, they have to land and sign the signboard at the starting line. And now everybody is rushing up the hill again, the same hill they had to climb this morning. Now they can decide whether they want to climb it or they can kite up. They can be pulled up from their gliders in order to save energy and maybe time. Lots of support from you guys at home. Thank you very much for watching this. And we have more people landing. They're trying to lose altitude as fast as they can. They're diving into nice wingovers and spirals to get down as fast as they can and reach the signboard to sign it. And I can see just before my eyes, Kriegel Maurer kiting up the hill. The wind looks to be not very strong, so it's not going to be easy to kite up very fast. And we can see Patrick Fontcano reaching the landing right now, shortly followed by other 2 athletes that are just behind him. And this is the takeoff area where the pilots are starting from, just after signing the board on turn point 3, before reaching the landing area where they signed the second signboard of today's task. After that, as you can see, they are trying to climb the hill again as fast as they can. And we have Maurer airborne again. He's in the sky, he's in the air, and he's trying to gain altitude as fast as they can, and before going back to turn point 1 at the north end of the Al Faya Ridge. In the meantime, back at turn point 3, we have some more pilots coming to sign their first signboard. And from the top of the hill, we will soon see somebody coming up with their glider.
Rico here, passing over the turn point now.
Yes, Guy. We have Kriegel.
There! All the way! Repeat!
We have Kriegel now in the air. He managed to gain altitude pretty quickly. In the meantime, we see Nicola Donini going to sign his signboard. He doesn't even put the glider down. He's keeping the glider up as he was signing the board. And he's now ready to head to the hill just in front of him and to kite up. And more pilots are now getting in the air after kiting up from the hill. But we still have some people at the takeoff after turn point 3, and they're trying to take off as fast as they can and to fly as low as they can to reach a landing area where they have to sign the next board. And we can see the wind turning. It's pretty turbulent at the moment here on the dune. It's coming from both sides. So the athletes will have to use all of their ground handling skills to go up as fast as they can on the dune. Yes, Guy. And we're looking at Nick Nijnens. Michael Gierlach. He's kiting his wing to get up on the dune as fast as he can.
He's off, man. Oh, Michael.
And he's off.
And Patrick kiting here. Just here. Frigo, man, he had a brain lock. He forgot what the second part of the test was, and he asked us, "Where should I go?" I said, "Repeat, man, repeat." So he had kind of like a brain lock, and then he went.
But he's still leading this race today, as he is the first pilot. He is the first pilot heading back to turn point 1 for the second part of the route.
That's Patrick taking off now.
And we're looking at Patrick taking off. Pilots are really struggling to kite their wings as the slightly turbulent wind is changing direction every now and then. So they really have to put quite a big effort to go up as fast as they can on their kiting their wing.
One good turn. Up. That's Patrick here. Vesto, really good control. He took off, but he went really low, but now he's taking some lift, but really, really close from the rock. Scary, man.
Yeah, Vezo is flying really low on the ridge. He's probably bombing out, but maybe he will manage to gain some altitude. He's really, really, really close to the rocks. We can see his shadow very close to him on the rocks. And Nicola Donini is kiting up the hill right now.
That's Nicky Donini here. Man, no joke. Vesto, he was getting up to the rock, flying up around 2 meters. The tip of the glider was 2 meters from the rock on the strong wind conditions. Really impressive, the flying that the guys are putting in.
Yeah, Vezo was really close, but of course he's done it on purpose, as that allowed him to take off a little bit earlier. And Nick Torini is following him. He's doing the exact same thing, as he saw that Vezo managed to climb up again, gain some altitude, and they're both now flying towards turn point 1 again.
And Sebo Spina here kiting up now.
You can see Seb kiting up to the top of the hill. We will see where he will decide to take off.
Good to go, Seb.
Very good. And lots of support from home again. People are watching this and they're enjoying and supporting their favorite athletes.
So, Sebostina taking off.
And Seb is airborne. We will see if we will decide he will try to stay as close to the rocks as Veso and Nick did.
Now from Colombia. And Niger here on the other side, taking off now too.
And Sepp took off even lower than the others. Sepp took off even lower than the others, so we will see if he will also manage to climb again or if he will bomb out just at the feet of the dune.
They're going up. The wind is pretty strong. Yeah, they're flying so close to the rock, man. I mean, really, really close, like 2 meters from the rock, 10 of wind. That's fine.
These guys are flying very, very close to the rocks in order to take every little bit of wind they can find to climb up again above the top of the ridge and go for the second route of today, which is going to be, once again, turn point 1, north, far north end of the ridge, turn point 2, far south. And we have Logan here.
Controlling the glider, really turbulent wind at the ground with this dune. The wind is not laminar as we expected because the dunes on the lower level, they really break the wind, so it's really hard to kite with strong wind. And then Alex here now taking off.
And we have Michael Gerlach assigned the board, and now he will head to the dune again. As you can see, the race is still pretty tight. Nick Ninans here. The race is still pretty tight, but the group is starting to spread out as people are still going to the second signboard at the starting line, while some others are already hitting turn point 1.
Alex took off with here on the glider, not a perfect flying glider, and he just landed on the rocks down there. But he stayed good, just he took off and he had some gear on the left side. It was not the proper glider, so he had to land. Now it's Logan here and Tommy Friedrich.
So we can see Tommy Friedrich, who is now reaching the top of the hill. That means he is losing a few positions today, and that might have quite a big impact on the current ranking in the next days.
Tommy here, tightening up a little bit higher to take off. Logan.
So these guys saw that the ones just before them could take off quite low, but for maximum safety, let's say sportive safety, so to be sure that they will climb up again, they are trying to go just a little tiny bit higher. In the meantime, we can see some more pilots coming up on takeoff just above turn point 3. And we can see the signboard at the turn point 3 that should be now completed, as everyone is now going on with the second board at the starting line and then climbing up the hill.
Tommy is going all the way up, and Logan also. They don't want to take the risk of bombing out again, you know.
Sure, they don't want to be bombing out, otherwise they have to go back up the hill once again, and that means losing some precious minutes. Tommy Friedrich here, he's kiting up.
Eduardo Gaza here from Mexico. Enough from here, bro.
And we can see here from relief maps that the first pilots are actually thermaling to gain altitude. They probably are trying to climb at maximum altitude to then do the whole back and forth trip to turn point 2 and landing in one glide. Of course, they don't have to fly to climb up so much, otherwise they were losing time. But they definitely want to keep a little bit of a margin, and in order to then do the last glide in one hit. Really beautiful, these images that we can see through relief maps.
Sign his name, and now using the wind to inflate the glider again, using it as a kite, not to fly.
And we're looking at Steve Bramford here reaching the starting line from where he will have to kite up on the dune again. And going back to the dune, we have some more pilots. Some even decided to just walk instead of kiting. And we can see that the wind is pretty turbulent right now. So we're back on the hill, and again we're looking at people climbing, walking up instead of kiting, as the wind is getting a little bit turbulent, and it makes it not that easy to kite their wings up. And in the meantime, we had one athlete kind of top landing in the middle of some rocks in the mountain.
That was
And so
Eduardo Gaza.
Eduardo Gaza top landed in the middle of some rocks in the mountain. So we are now checking his situation just to make sure everything is all right.
Marcus preparing here, and Michael Kirlas also. Oh. Now a good breeze here again.
The wind is getting better now on the dune, so the athletes that walked up have a good chance of taking off in a better way. And once again, now that we saw some people hiking instead of inflating and kiting, it probably took them even less time to just walk up instead of kiting up.
Michael Kirlas taking off there. A good flight. Yeah. Perfect.
And we have one by one the last group of pilots who is reaching now the top of the dune, and they are taking off. They will try to make maximum altitude and go back then to turn point 1, turn point 2. And in the meantime, we have the head group already coming back from turn point 1. They will very soon fly over the finish line, heading towards turn point 2 on the south end of the Al Faya mountain range. Beautiful, beautiful sceneries here in the middle of the desert. And we can see that the first pilots already hit turn point 1 again, and they're going towards turn point 2. Wind is still slightly changing direction from north to south every now and then, so athletes will have to pay attention in order to maximize their speed on their route up the hill, and then as well once they take off. We can see at these 3-4 athletes running up with the gliders above their heads, and Haley Schrempf just took off, Stanislav Meyer following.
here's Alex, Sheila, and Marcus. The thing is now the wind is coming more from the south, so it's better to fly like Alex just did now. Fly a little bit more to the other side and then the south of the dune and then come back, because otherwise on this side you're on the lee side of the dune, you know.
Yes, exactly. Now the wind is slightly cross from the south as opposed to the first half of the task where the wind was coming crossed a little bit from the north. And as these guys are
coming back.
Exactly, as these guys are now struggling to go up to the dune and try and take off, we can see the head group with Kriegel and Antoine Gerard coming above the takeoff and heading to turn point 2. So, you know, even this short race today has been not without surprises. And we can see the first 3 athletes speeding to turn point 2 before heading back for the finish line. So we will have the first arrivals really, really soon. It's going to be a matter of minutes. And here on the football field is where the athletes will land after closing the speed session after hitting turn point 2.
Maybe a second with Aaron, which has been landing, and we can ask his opinion on the race so far.
Oh, well, it was a beautiful race. Actually, quite funny. After the second time landing on the signboard, me and Krieger and Patrick was leading, and I was a little bit impatient and I didn't make any altitude. I just start to glide to here, expecting good wind, but it wasn't. So I landed a couple of times on the dunes, and in the end, I was really a little bit stupid because I put my glider on a big tree or like a tree with many spines, so not possible to take it down.
Okay, that's okay. It's part of the race, Aaron. But overall, this is your first experience in this Hike&Fly since it's the first time this race has been taking place. What is your general feeling, your general opinion about this task so far?
Oh, it was real fun. I mean, it was interesting with landing and kiting. It was really interesting. I'm just a little bit sorry for my race and the overall race. It's gone, but yeah, part of it.
Well, maybe there's gonna be another task, number 4. We will see what's gonna happen in the next few days. But thank you, Aaron, so much for your.
And so this answers some of the question of some of you in the comments. That is what happened to Aaron. He basically could not take his glider off from a big tree full of spines, so he basically had to withdraw from the race. It's a real pity. It is a real pity, as Aaron was currently in second position after the last 2 runs. And this means that today he will definitely get 24 points. So we will see what is going to happen in the next tasks. So today, this task 3. There will also be a task 4, which is going to be either tomorrow or on Saturday.
So Steve Brunswick is the last one to take off. He's kiting to the top. The wind is coming and going, so he's kiting up the highest as he can to be able to catch the best wind and go straight to the mountain. But it's not an easy situation right now.
Very good. So we're looking now at the head group that is already coming back from turn point 2. So we will have them landing at the football field in really no time. And we have, as Guy was telling us, Steve Bremfit taking off as last from the dune. And the middle part of the group is now coming back from turn point 1. So they are now passing over the dune. We have Nicola Donini and what looks to be probably Vezo Ovkarov. And they're they are speeding to turn point 2. In the meantime, basically in the same space, we have Kriegel coming back from turn point 2 and heading for the finish line. So these athletes are really sharing the sky on the way back and forth between the turn points. And we have some more people coming in for landing after signing the board at turn point 3. And they are signing the second board here at the starting line, and they will then have to walk or ground handle up the dune. Yes, thank you for your support, guys, and to the support to your favorite athletes here. Of course, luck is also sometimes involved in competitions, and unfortunately, Aaron couldn't take his glider off from a big tree where he got stuck, and so that means that this task is over for him.
So, find the best. Steve is finding the best place to take off now. The condition is pretty good for us that fly all the time here.
And Guy, we can see above your head the Kriegel coming back. He's just passing above your head right there. He's gonna finish very, very soon. He's the first one coming to the finish line, and he's just shortly followed by Antoine Gerard.
Kriegel on the first side, they have to take 20 seconds space between them right now.
Very, very interesting. It's a very, very tight race as the route today is not very, very long, so everything is happening pretty fast. But even being a relatively short task, the complexity of it made it interesting anyways. No discard on overall ranking, Vlad. No, basically what happens is that pilots who cannot continue the race will get 25 points. So it's like if they ended after the last one. And these points will add up with the other task points. And so this will contribute to form the overall ranking at the end. And eyes are now on the landing as the first athletes will be coming really soon. They will have to tag turn point 4.
Kriegel is finishing quick, okay?
They will tag at turn point 4, which is close to turn point 3, where the first signboard was positioned. But soon after, they will be coming to the finish line on the landing. And here we are at turn point 4, waiting for the first pilots to arrive. And in the meantime, we have good news about Eduardo, who top landed in the middle of some rocks in a little bit of a sketchy point. He's doing all right. He is fine. So we will see now if he will continue with the race or if he decides to just stop here with this task. And back at the landing field, we will see very, very soon the first athletes coming for landing.
Yes. Okay, no.
Yes, Fiore, we are here at this landing field. We see the pilots coming in one after the other one. There has been massive news because from the hiking part after the turn point all the way to the left, some pilots decided to take off a little bit higher, some pilots lower, because they trust the wind, they trust the condition. But remember, they don't know exactly how this place works. It's the first time they were here, and so with this decision, they've been able to create many massive differences. Some pilots would have climbed too much, so once they arrived here, they needed to burn the altitude, losing a lot of time, and then land and sign the board. Other pilots were not even reaching here, so we're landing way before, and then coming here walking with a massive time waste, and probably that will determine that they are out of the race. And the perfect pilot, they were just landing perfectly, like maybe 1.5 meters far from the board that they need to sign. This was an amazing moment of race, also because after that, they needed to kite back up to the sand dune. And you can see now one of the pilots also that he already hiked all the way up and is getting ready to drop. He dropped the wing. He went away from the wing in order to give the line a stretch, and now he's going to use the wind to inflate the glider and then orient the glider in a position, look at that, where it's not going to fly, but it's going to use the power of the wind to climb and to hike up this dune. It's an amazing thing that everybody know from this world, but not everybody know from all over the world, and it's called kiting. Beautiful technique.
Yes, thank you, Stefano. And in the meantime, we can see other pilots coming back from turn point 2. They are going to hit the turn point 4, which is the last turn point for today. Yes, I know, as somebody of you were pointing out, the turn point scheme today is not the easiest, but it basically involves going back and forth from the Al-Faya ridge 2 times. And in the middle, it involves hitting, it was landing on the ground to sign the board 2 times as well. So it's a start, go up on the dune, turn point 1, turn point 2, so back and forth on the ridge, then back to turn point 3 where they have to sign, and then back to start, and do it all over again. So from the start is again dune, climbing, turn point 1, turn point 2, so back and forth on the ridge, then turn point 4, which is the last one, and where the head group is heading now, and back on the finish line where the race ends. And we are looking just in front of our eyes, the action going on here at Al-Faya. The pilots are soaring this ridge at maximum speed. They're really pushing hard on their speed bars to gain maximum speed. And thank you, Peter. We are glad that you're having fun watching this. It is the first time that this kind of race has this kind of media coverage with live streaming, trying to bring directly into your smartphone, into your devices, what is going on here today. And we are at the landing, waiting for the head group to come back. Some of them are already heading to the finish line after tagging turn point 4. So the first ones will be coming in a matter of minutes.
Yuri, we can already see Kriegel coming. He's first, and on the back is Antoine Gerard. Kriegel is coming already. He already touched the turn point. He's already coming back. Huh?
So very good. We have since the second takeoff from the dune, basically the ranking has not changed much, as the athletes were, all of them were flying full speed as fast as they could, trying to manage the turbulences that they could find on the ridge today. And so we have Kriegel that is approaching the finishing line within seconds, followed by Antoine Gerard. And as you can see, we can really watch the action live from the ground. We can see pilots going in both directions, depending on in which part of the race they are still. So in this case, you'll see we're looking at one glider going to tag the turn point 2 on the far right, and the other one, which is coming back from turn point 2 and is heading now to turn point 4, which is the last one before hitting the finish line. We can see the main group of pilots are now heading to turn point 4 on the far left, either to turn point 1 or turn point 4 on the far left end of Al-Faya mountain ridge.
That's Kriegel coming there.
And we will soon watch Kriegel passing the finish line and landing. So we probably can already say that we have a winner for today's task. In seconds, just a matter of seconds, we will see the first pilot, Kriegel, the Eagle Marer, coming for landing after finishing this beautiful and really exciting task today. This task was really involving lots of different things, hiking.
That's Kriegel right here, crossing the line in 10 seconds.
In 10 seconds, we'll have Kriegel crossing the finish line. Again, you can see it here now in the middle of the screen. He's coming to win this task 3 at the UAE Hike&Fly Championship here in the United Arab Emirates. Thank you guys for your support from home.
Winner, Kriegel, first place.
And we have Kriegel officially crossing the finish line. So he is the official winner of task number 3. This will definitely...
Gerard from France.
And Antoine Gerard will follow shortly. And Kriegel was already 4th in the overall current ranking. So this win will definitely help him increase his scoring and his ranking positions in the overall event.
3, 2, 1. Antoine Gerard, second place.
And we have Antoine on 2nd place. And thank you, Emilia, as always, for your support. Yes, Tanguy is coming 3rd in the next few seconds.
Yes, we have Tanguy 3rd place right now. 3, 2, 1. Tanguy 3rd place. Now they're just firing down the land, but the race is already finished.
Very good. So now the speed session is over. So that means that the time is up, but they still have to come down and land to be cheered up from the public here in Al Faya Mountain. And thank you guys again that are watching from home. Thank you for your support. That really means a lot to us. We are really doing our best to try and bring you as close as possible to the action here in the Arab Emirates.
Antoine coming down here, and Tanguy coming down here. And now we're all way down.
And we're looking at Tanguy and Antoine Gerard coming for landing.
We participate as a team in 2019, supporting Antoine Gerard in Red Bull XL. So it was Antoine, Tanguy, and me. It was a really fun team to participate in Red Bull XL, and now we are here getting together on landing. Really cool.
Very, very nice moment that's bringing up for sure some unique memories. And Emilia got addicted to relief maps. Yes, me too. It is definitely the best experience in following live tracking. The 3D animation is really, really beautiful. And we can see Antoine coming for landing in seconds. But the race is not over yet. We still have the main group flying along the ridge. Some are still going to tag turn point 2 in the next few minutes. And some are going back to turn point 4.
Super windy here in the ground now, Fiore.
It is windy. Yes, we can see that from how the wings are inflating and from the flags that are here at the finish line. And it is pretty windy, but these pilots are among the top level pilots in the whole world. And so they will have no problem at all with managing the wind. And here we have Antoine Gerard, who just landed. He is officially finished the race, the task today, in 2nd position, which will definitely boost his overall ranking as well.
We cannot really thank them enough for such a so far.
And we're looking at Kriegel and Tanguy playing on the dune a little bit. They are having fun on the dune before coming for landing after the super fast flying, 100% focused on what you're doing. Now they're just enjoying it and having fun on the dune up there. And we have more pilots coming to the finish line already.
Nick Nayan finishing now.
We're looking here at Nick Nayan finishing. Nick Nayan's.
Yes, he's 5th place. Now Nick Tonini.
And Nick Tonini, which has done a very good race on task number 2, and he's done a remarkable performance today as well. And again, due to the length of the task today, which was it was relatively short, we can see that the athletes are finishing. Michael Siegel coming for landing. Good job. Well done, Michael. And the athletes are coming pretty close together at the finish line. And we can see in the background on this image, the middle group or the end group, the tail group going to tag turn point 4 before coming to the finish line. And here we have Tanguy and Nicola landing together. Great competition. Somebody is saying, yes, it definitely is a great competition. Lots of fun. It is definitely not what we are used to. It's not our usual hike and fly competition or paragliding competition overall, but it's definitely a new kind of format of racing, which is making it very, very interesting to follow. And we have some more people coming for landing after hitting the finish line. They're really landing one after the other. The times are really, really close. And let's see what Nicola is looking.
Taking off, I tell, but everything is okay. I don't know my results, but I think I arrived in a good position.
Very good. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you so much to all of you. Meanwhile, you also see pilot number 1 landed. Always smiling, like always. We're gonna give him some seconds to drink some water, and we're gonna ask him a couple of questions. Everybody enjoyed your flight. Everybody enjoyed this race. It was very beautiful only to watch you guys in this beautiful scenario. Sand dunes, Rocky Mountains. What is your feeling after the landing?
Hi everybody, how are you?
Let him feel your energy. You're talking with Krieger Maurer, the winner of the race, task number 3.
Yes, it was a race. It was a very tricky race. We thought it's an easy ridge rush soaring, and finally we was already after 10 minutes very in a hurry. Someone had to land, and I also was very lucky because I was in front and I did not realize it early that it could be a problem. But yeah, I managed to fly until the next turn points, and then we had to land. And after I struggled a bit because I was after the hike up, I pushed it too much and we would get low and had to land. All the leading group had to land, and we was running. It was a really hike and fly, a run and fly with the glider up there, and we was pushing on the ground on the dunes, soaring a little bit, again running. And yeah, it was funny to see. And finally, it was the one day made a little bit more altitude on one dune. I could arrive some meter more high in the next ridge, the next rocks, and it was enough to soar until here for the next landing. It gives me a little bit of an advantage in front of Gerard, and he made it better after the first hike. He made safety altitude, and so it's why he could catch up me almost. And then it was hiking up here on the dune, and finally saw Rich Roch. And because we know where it's the tricky places, we managed well. And finally, it was well. But yeah, I think it's a really nice place with the view beautiful, and we was really pushing a lot. I think I flew 99% full bar. Amazing. But because the wind was not so fast as I know normally from the Alps. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations again for this amazing result. Winner of Task.
Task number 3 today. And we have another part of the group that are now going to hit turn point 4. That is the last turn point before heading to the finish line. And we have lots of support from you guys watching this from home, for supporting all of your favorite pilots that are racing today here in the Arab Emirates at this first UAE Hike&Fly Championship. And we have now pilot who finished at number 2, Antoine Gerard. People coming to land.
Yes, we're here with Antoine.
Yes.
Legend in this competition. Antoine, let us know your feeling about this beautiful position number 2 in Task here in Al-Fayed Desert.
Yes, it was a starting task because it's difficult to be in that position, but playing back and just see what happened. So
That was beautiful. There was some places where actually you were able to make the difference.
it's more difficult, and the first tempo was very difficult, windy and not a lot of thermal. So we have to go slowly, and after we have to go fast and do fast.
So overall, from task number 1, 2, and 3 today, what is your feeling in this moment, at this time of the race?
So now look like windy with the mountain, now it's the desert.
Thank you so much, and again, congratulations for your position number 2 today. Thank you, sir.
Very good. So we have a question from home where we can find the overall results. Well, to keep updated on all of what's going on here, be sure to follow our Instagram account at UAE Hike&Fly Championship, where you can find all updated information when we're going live, as well as some great quality content that we shoot every day here in the Arab Emirates. And at turn point 1, at turn point 4, everybody has tagged the turn point now, so we are waiting for them at the landing after the finish line.
Max, live. We are here with Team Alonso. He actually position number 3 today. Was a beautiful task. Every pilot has been also coming here yesterday to check the condition, check the area, and then you came here today.
Disappointing. But it's okay. Taking my
Like by selection, and have a good second, and a good moment, because otherwise it's not possible. There's about.
I forgot that we had the land here. I was already going.
We have some technical difficulties there with the microphones, but we will come back to the athletes quite soon. We are looking at great vibes here at the landing field in Al Faya Mountains. The pilots are very happy. They all enjoyed the task today. And look at the sand coming out of the shoes of these athletes today. That's what happens when you try and run in the sand up a hill. And we're back now at the interview. Guy, try to put the microphone close to the people, otherwise we don't hear you. Or take the headphones off, please.
How hard the condition are. All the gear is getting in pieces. Look at the shoes.
Merci all triangles.
They wanted to make the task longer. Huh?
No, it's actually enough.
Actually, the youngest
Yeah, but man,
in the
if we put the other points there today with this win,
number 1 and 2. How?
And one after the other, the pilots are all landing, hitting the finish line and coming for landing. The race is over for most of these guys, but some are still hitting the turn point 4 and are coming for landing in the next few seconds.
The rescue helicopter.
Who's that?
I don't know, but he...
Again, guys, thank you very much for watching this live event today. And it is really an honor to be here in this first edition of the UAE Hike&Fly Championship, the first ever hike-and-fly paragliding competition here in Dubai area in the United Arab Emirates. And we have the last pilots coming in for landing in really few seconds, as you can see now from the stream. Again, to keep updated on what's going on here in this week in Dubai, keep updated on our Instagram account, UAE Hike&Fly Championship. You can find a lot of information in the stories, as well as some great content. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. We still have some pilots coming to the finish line. We will now see what's happening in the next few minutes.
Gram at a time, touching again the landing. Bravissimi. Look at that. Wow. That's a landing. And you see how this material is so light, you can see through the light. Again, other landings. Look, he's regulating the speed and the altitude with his brakes, pulling the brakes and releasing it in order to get the best glide from Czech Republic, landing super soft on the ground. Amazing. Dropping the glider. Maybe ready for a couple of questions. Just one. How was the start today? We are here with Miles Stanislav from Czech Republic. How was the task, in your opinion, today?
So, for me, at the beginning it was pretty good. We flew with the first group, and then it was the first part when the first group split. So I was one of the group who landed there in that opening field. And then we pretty fast took off again, and then we was pushing all the time, like crazy. Yeah, then another sign, and then for me it was really bad because 3-4 times I cannot start from that not so good place because we lost good wind, so we wait a little bit for another wind to come because a lot of guys also landed ground there, like him, I think. I saw him from the air. I was so bad luck and not so good for them. Yeah, and then it was pretty good again. So we catched a few guys and we flew with the group all the time, full speed. And then for me it was again pretty interesting because I broke speed bar in the air. Wow! Because we have a light bar, you know, I was pushing all the time as much as I can, and then suddenly, bam, and it broke. So then in the air I was fixing it. Unfortunately, I fixed it. And at the end, I think we came together with Nick Nance. He was a little bit faster because I cannot push you super full. It was a little bit so for you really face to face pushing speed like we go. So I will be curious if Nick or me will go faster.
Thank you so much for this amazing feedback. We leave Stanislav to relax a moment and take a breath. Meanwhile, we keep on watching the sky, and the pilots are doing really great maneuver in order to lose altitude and land after such a difficult task today. They definitely for sure can't wait to relax a moment. You see the glider very dirty on the top surface, and that's why the surface is super radical. They really push the best out of their equipment out of this race. Look at that, what a perfect landing. And now, just to show you something really interesting, this is a harness, this is how it looks. Look, it's so light, and everything is hanging from a small stripe of tissue. You can see this is a speed bar system, so it's connected to basically a pedal. And this is the speed system actually. Look how light it is. You need to pull, and through a system, this pull will be translated into a vertical pull, and the glider will go faster. If you release the glider, it will go slower. But everything is so light that it's very possible here to have some failure of the material. And as you understood, Stanislav from Czech Republic had one of these failures. When you're not able to push the speed bar, this is a massive handicap in the race. So congratulations for this pilot to be able to put it together. Nice landing. And get to goal. Maybe we can get a question out of Tim Rochat from France. How was the task in your opinion?
What can I say? Right, it was very fast. It is at the beginning. Make one mistake.
Look at what a beautiful scenario with the sun, all the gliders, everyone really now enjoying this moment. In general, overall, what is your feeling about this mountain, this sand dune?
Yeah, it's super nice to fly. You can fly very fast. You can fly also yesterday evening. So, yeah.
Are you going to go back up right now and fly a little bit?
Yeah, perhaps, yes.
All right, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
And yes, again, if you're curious about rankings and if you want in general keep updated, make sure to follow our Instagram account and to keep watching these lives where we also make a recap of what happened previously, and we public also official rankings. And yeah, about anything else, we are still making sure of what's happened, and we will come back to you as soon as we have any information.
Seems like a big family. Everybody help each other, and they push themselves to be better and better in order to achieve better position and better goal.
Yeah, just go right. Go. Yeah. Please go there where the sun is beautiful and you look at us. Okay.
Now we are here. We have the pleasure to have Vezo Ocharov from Bulgaria after this amazing task number 3 in Fire Desert. What is your sensation? Right, hot as soon as you landed.
For me, it was quite easier this time because the physical part was short. And then I have a good tactic in the beginning that gave me a huge advantage. But then I didn't see properly the barbed wire fence around the first time. I had to detour, then I didn't have experience to run with the glider, big nose on the takeoff, lose a lot of time to solve it, and really bad condition for takeoff, so my advantage disappeared, and then my goal was just to finish. And I'm really happy to be here with everybody. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your task number 3, and we wish you the best for the next days of race.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. And hope to see you again.
Thank you so much. That was Red Bull athlete Bezo Ojero from Bulgaria. Literally a legend, another legend within us. We also have the pleasure to have within us Sebastian Ospina, also in the competition. What is your feeling of this beautiful area after task number 3?
I think it's quite pretty. Also, the gyms. It's a new stage for everyone.
Yeah, I cannot agree more with you. Sometimes it's very difficult to find the right words because you need to try by yourself. What else about this place, this flight? If you close your eyes, what are the emotions that will stay with you in this moment?
Adrenaline. It's very fast. We need to be very efficient and not very fast.
So it was really challenging. It was, in your opinion, a good task setting.
Yeah, absolutely. It was quite interesting. Finding a good takeoff line, finding not bumping out. Because if you push too hard, then you end up with the ground. So finding the right balance between pushing too much and holding back the right moment.
So are you gonna go back up and fly the evening, the dune?
I might grab my small wing and go on.
Amazing, amazing. This place is so beautiful that everybody wants to fly until the end, until it's possible. So be ready to see some show of flight in the evening with the golden hour. Thank you, Seti, so much. Amazing, amazing feeling, amazing feeling. And we are here with Ellie, another beautiful pilot in the comp. Tell us your feeling about this task number 3.
It was beautiful, hard, tricky, and pushed too much in the beginning, and I had to make up the road 3 times. But yeah, I'm in the on, so I'm happy, and hope the guide is right. And it's just like
yeah, amazing. And that was really the goal of the moment of everyone to bring the task to the maximum. But now it's time to enjoy. And do you think we're gonna see everyone enjoy some sand dunes?
Yeah, for sure.
I thank you so much, and I wish you the best for the next race days. Thank you, Ellie. Competitor in race that take some great shots as well, and some great videos along these races. Yes, you understood well. Having good video, good shots material, it's also really good for these people. They live by the discipline. They need to present something to the sponsor, and everybody is super happy because they're gonna back home with the heart full of emotion, the body drained of energy for how long they're gonna fly, and an amazing package of contents for everybody to share. Look around us, the beautiful sand dunes of the desert. Everyone here working hard to make this happen. So I think in this moment, I would say I will leave you to the picture and say goodbye from this paradise. Please keep following us on Instagram and on YouTube, and make sure you don't miss task number 4. You see what this place is able to give you. Task 1, task 2, now task 3, amazing. What's going to happen in the next few days? You only will find out if you follow us. Ciao from the desert.
And thank you, Stefano. And yeah, yes, we do have information of one pilot having problems during his flights, but we still have no sure information. So we will get back to you as soon as we have more information about it. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. And probably we will see you again on the next task, which is going to be task 4 in 2 days. In a different location, and we will keep you updated on the Instagram account as usual. And again, thank you very much for watching.